Is Natalie Reynolds just making these videos to try to make some of you mad so that you comment on them? Like the one where she's crying and acting like, please stop bringing up the old stuff. And then the other one where she's freaking out, screaming, saying, stop bringing up that I did that. It was a mistake I made. I feel like she's disingenuous, to say the least, but I feel like they're just fake videos where she's getting y'all.
For a long time, Natalie Reynolds seemed to have figured out the internet better than everyone else. While other creators spent years trying to build loyal audiences, Natalie appeared to have discovered something much faster: tension. No matter what happened, no matter how much criticism came her way, people kept watching, people kept sharing, people kept talking, and with every new controversy, her name spread even further across the internet. But recently, something changed. The backlash surrounding Natalie Reynolds started feeling different. The criticism became louder, the controversies became harder to ignore, and many people began asking a question that had never seemed more relevant. Is Natalie Reynolds simply one of the most misunderstood creators on the internet?
People keep trying to bring up my past and you won't let it go! Like, let go of my past! We get it, we're all people, we've all made mistakes! Why am I always been the bad guy? Don't look at me like I'm crazy, like I'm some sort of monster! I'm normal just like you! And if y'all want to keep acting like Natalie Reynolds is such a bad person, well, don't worry. My name is Jade now. I'm not Natalie. And if I see any comments about the lake situation, I'm going to lose my mind. Just please stop. Like, please just comment something nice. I'm so sick of the hate comments. Just please leave a positive comment.
Or has she built an entire career around pushing boundaries until people finally push back? Because when you look closely at her biggest controversies, something unusual starts to appear. A pattern. And once you see that pattern, it's difficult to ignore. This is the dark pattern behind Natalie Reynolds. Before Natalie Reynolds became one of the internet's most controversial creators, she was known for something much simpler: entertainment. Like many influencers who exploded during the TikTok era, her content revolved around public interactions, challenges, pranks, relationship content, and social experiments. The formula was familiar: create something entertaining, get people talking, repeat. At first, it worked. Millions of people discovered her content. Her audience grew rapidly. And like many creators experiencing sudden success, bigger numbers created bigger expectations. The problem with internet fame is that what works today rarely works forever.
Natalie Reynolds destroyed my marriage of 32 years, and I'm here to clear some things up. A lot of people are saying it was all my husband's fault. Yes, he was wrong, and I feel betrayed for what he did. But it takes two to tango. Natalie was privately messaging my husband, trying to sell him content. It doesn't matter that she didn't know he was married. She should have asked before engaging with him intimately.
Audiences get used to things. A prank that once felt shocking becomes normal. A challenge that once felt exciting becomes predictable. And creators often face a difficult choice: evolve or become irrelevant. For some creators, evolution means improving production quality. For others, it means finding new formats. But for a growing number of influencers, there is another option: become more controversial. Because controversy has something ordinary content doesn't: attention. And attention has become one of the most valuable currencies on the internet.
People argue about you, the more your name spreads. The more people react, the more the algorithm notices. The more outrage you generate, the more visibility you receive. Whether people love you or hate you almost becomes secondary, as long as they're watching. As Natalie Reynolds' profile grew, critics began noticing what they believed was a recurring pattern. A controversial moment would happen, the internet would react, videos would spread everywhere, people would argue, and suddenly, Natalie Reynolds would become the center of online conversation once again. At first, these incidents seemed unrelated. Different situations, different criticisms, different audiences. But over time, some viewers started seeing similarities. Not necessarily in the controversies themselves, but in the outcome. Every controversy generated attention. Every controversy generated engagement. Every controversy generated more discussion. And discussion is exactly what social media platforms reward.
One controversy that attracted significant attention involved a public dispute surrounding hairstyles and cultural appropriation. A viral confrontation showed a woman criticizing Natalie Reynolds for wearing braids.
It's ugly as f***. We wear that shit.
It's braids.
I'm allowed to wear braids. I've been seeing a lot of hate comments about my braids, saying it's offensive, disgusting, it's cultural appropriation, it's f***ed up. How is it f***ed up when Vikings are the ones that invented braids? If you are really that offended by me wearing braids in 2025, you need to get a grip on reality. It is not that deep. Why are we arguing about hairstyle?
The clip quickly spread across social media.
Within hours, people had chosen sides. Some defended Natalie. Others argued the criticism was justified. What followed wasn't simply a debate about hair. It became part of a much larger conversation involving culture, identity, representation, and accountability. The situation escalated further when responses and counter-responses began circulating online. What may have started as a single confrontation evolved into another major internet debate.
She offered the homeless woman $20 to jump in the lake knowing she couldn't swim. This streamer is facing massive internet outrage after pulling a cruel and life-threatening prank on a homeless woman for views. Natalie Reynolds, a controversial kick streamer, was live streaming in a park when she approached a vulnerable unhoused woman. She held out a $20 bill and told the woman she could have it, but only if she jumped into the dark, freezing lake right next to them.
For critics, the issue wasn't just the hairstyle itself. It was the perception that Natalie often approached serious concerns with defensiveness rather than understanding. Supporters disagreed. They argued she was being unfairly targeted. The result was exactly what social media thrives on: conflict. Millions of people discussing the same topic at the same time. And once again, Natalie Reynolds found herself at the center of another viral conversation.
But this wasn't the only incident that contributed to her growing reputation. Another controversy emerged when Natalie posted content involving body paint in a public setting.
Natalie Reynolds is getting backlash after she recreated a quinceañera photo shoot, and people are saying that it's disrespectful because it is not a trend, it's a tradition, and it's part of our culture. So these are some of the pictures that she did. And when I tell you guys, the comments are not positive. They're all saying they feel disrespected.
The video immediately sparked backlash. Many viewers questioned whether the stunt crossed a line. Others criticized it as attention-seeking behavior designed specifically to provoke reactions. Natalie described the situation as a social experiment. Critics weren't convinced. To them, it looked less like an experiment and more like another example of increasingly extreme content designed to generate headlines. The backlash intensified as clips spread across multiple platforms. Comment sections exploded. Reaction videos appeared. People debated whether creators should be allowed to push public boundaries in pursuit of views. But perhaps what frustrated critics most wasn't the stunt itself. It was what happened afterward. Instead of fully addressing concerns, many felt Natalie responded in a way that suggested she wasn't taking the criticism seriously.
I am here to apologize for the horrible videos I posted with my horse. I was bored the other day and thought it would be a cute, fun idea to wear a quinceañera dress while taking photos with a horse. The internet, on the other hand, is not so happy about that. Everyone is trying to claim that the videos I posted are supposed to be a tradition and not a trend. So am I not allowed to wear a dress? Am I not allowed to have a quinceañera? And am I not even allowed to ride a horse? Like, I feel like I can't do anything anymore without y'all nitpicking every little thing that I do. I did not try to offend anybody with the videos I posted with my horse, and I just wanted to celebrate my quinceañera 8 years late because I missed it. I was 15 once too. Cultures are meant to be shared. They are not created to separate us from each other. I love you guys. Bye.
For viewers who were already skeptical, this reinforced a growing belief that controversy wasn't an accident. It was part of the formula. And whether that belief was fair or not, it continued gaining traction.
This is one of the most difficult realities of internet fame. Reputation compounds. Every controversy doesn't start at zero. It carries the weight of everything that came before it. And for Natalie Reynolds, the weight had become enormous. The internet has changed dramatically over the past decade. In the early days of influencer culture, controversy often disappeared quickly. A scandal would dominate headlines for a week, then everyone would move on. Today's internet works differently. Nothing truly disappears. Old clips resurface, past statements get rediscovered, viewers create timelines, communities archive everything. Patterns become easier to identify. And once audiences believe they have identified a pattern, changing their minds becomes extremely difficult. This may be the biggest challenge Natalie Reynolds faces today.
Was Natalie Reynolds just making these videos to try to make some of you mad so that you comment on them? Like the one where she's crying and acting like, please stop bringing up the old stuff. And then the other one where she's freaking out, screaming, saying, stop bringing up that I did that. It was a mistake I made. I feel like she's disingenuous, to say the least, but I feel like they're just fake videos where she's getting y'all to comment so that it pushes her videos to get millions of views, like it happens every time. So if you don't know, Natalie Reynolds is the woman who paid a homeless individual who had mental issues to jump into the water even though she knew she couldn't swim. And she told her she'd give her $20. After the woman jumped in the water, she just laughed and ran off, didn't give her the $20 or anything, and left her there screaming.
Maybe her critics are right. Maybe every controversy represents another example of someone pushing boundaries for attention.
Or maybe the internet has become so conditioned to expect controversy that every action is automatically interpreted in the worst possible way. The truth probably lies somewhere in between. But one thing is certain, Natalie Reynolds didn't become one of the internet's most controversial creators because of one mistake, or one video, or one incident. She became controversial because people began seeing a pattern that transformed every new controversy into evidence for a larger story. And whether that story is completely accurate or not, it has become impossible to separate from her public image. Because today, when people hear the name Natalie Reynolds, they don't think about one controversy. They think about all of them. And that's what makes this story different. The biggest challenge facing Natalie Reynolds may no longer be the backlash itself. It may be convincing the internet that the pattern they've already decided exists isn't the whole story. And in today's internet culture, that might be the hardest challenge of all.